So if you guys are new to the channel or you're only here for the 392 Wrangler videos, this is my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. It's kind of my preservation and restoration project. So I'm definitely trying to keep this Jeep here as clean as possible, doing a minimal off-roading, but I definitely still do want to enjoy it. And as you see here, I think it's pretty clean in my opinion. Definitely a lot of work has gone into it. If you're curious to see everything that's gone into this Jeep so far, definitely check out my Jeep Cherokee XJ playlist on my YouTube channel. Today we are finally back with another Jeep Cherokee XJ video. So as you guys see here, I definitely did not sell or forget about my Jeep Cherokee XJ here. This thing is still my baby, and although I do have my brand new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 that I'm super excited about, that I've been filming a bunch of videos with for you guys recently, I definitely wanted to bring you guys another video of the XJ right here and give you guys a quick update of what's been going on with this thing and what is going to be going on with this thing in the future. So most recently, as you guys know, we did get the rear bumper replaced. Let me actually show you guys how that turned out here. So if you guys remember, this rear bumper here was super rusty. It had a whole bunch of rust spots down here, especially on the bottom. And as you see right here, it looks very good. Got the whole bumper replaced with a brand new OEM bumper. Then we also did install a new bumper shield here, because whenever we got the rear bumper replaced, the old one was not actually transferred over, so I had to buy this separately and just put it on there. So right now it's not really secured on there, it's just kind of like sitting there loose. We also did get the rear bumper end caps replaced as well. As you guys know, these things are known for having fading issues if they're sitting in direct sunlight for a long period of time. So these got replaced as well. Definitely very happy with how those turned out. Now, one issue with these though is that whenever I got the rear bumper end caps replaced, they actually had to take the mud flaps off and were not able to reinstall the old mud flaps because they were kind of rubbing on the leaf springs back here. So even before I got these new end caps installed, the mud flaps were already rubbing on the leaf springs, so they just didn't want to put them back on like that because it wasn't really, you know, they didn't really look too clean. They would have had to drill new holes in those mud flaps, and it just wouldn't look good because those old holes would be exposed and kind of visible in those old mud flaps because they were kind of on the outside. So as you guys know, I have been looking for new mud flaps, and one thing I've heard that kind of surprised me about these XJs is that the mud flaps are actually pretty rare from what I've heard. And I wasn't actually aware that the mud flaps were kind of like a rare thing for these XJs until you guys started commenting about where I got my mud flaps. So let me show you the mud flaps that I have in the front. They're the exact same that I had in the rear, I believe. So I actually got my Jeep with these mud flaps already installed. So I think they look really good, as you can see right there. They do a good job at covering up the tire. Not completely, because I do have aftermarket wheels and tires here, as well as a lift kit. But I have those same mud flaps on the rear, and as you see, they're obviously not there right now. And I actually ended up finding those same exact mud flaps that I got the Jeep with, and I ordered a brand new pair that we're going to install on the rear. So I want to show you guys those right now. And you know, I've been getting a whole bunch of comments on my previous videos about what type of mud flaps I had on my XJ, because a lot of people actually like those, and I never knew how to answer those questions because I actually got my Jeep with those mud flaps like I mentioned. So I always just thought they were stock, so that's what I've been telling people. But apparently those are not the actual stock mud flaps that come with the XJs from the factory, but the ones that I got are very close. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I ordered. So right here are the mud flaps that I ended up picking up from my XJ here. Now, I don't believe that these were actually designed to fit the XJ. I believe they're for like the Compass or something else like that, but they look exactly the same as the ones that I have on the front. Take a look here. So, I mean, they do look very similar, so I ended up just getting these, and hopefully they fit. So, if you guys want the part number, it is 8220-3706-AB, so right here. And I actually just bought these from like a Mopar parts website. You might have to shop around because a lot of the ones that I looked at were all out of stock for these mud flaps. The ones that I did find them on, I think they only had one left in stock, so I bought the last one on that website. I'm not sure if they still make these or not, but you know, I got them brand new, so I would assume they're still producing them. So if you guys are interested in getting mud flaps for your XJ and you want these exact ones, then that's the part number. You might just have to do some searching around on different Mopar parts websites just to see where they have them in stock. But anyways, like I said, these are genuine parts. You see here we have the sticker, so we know it's real. So pull these out of the box here. You know, nothing too fancy. They don't have pre-drilled holes, which is what I wanted, because we want to drill the holes exactly where they need to be, just so they don't rub on those leaf springs back here. So that's exactly what we were looking for. So we'll take a look here and see how they fit on. So, you know, I think they would fit on very well. You know, obviously it's going to be a little bit different once we actually screw them in, but that's basically how they're going to go on. So yeah, I mean, I think that's going to look very good. It matches the bumper end cap very well. And if we screw it on just like that, then, you know, you can see right there, there still is a gap between the leaf spring and the mud flap right there. So before, they were rubbing just like that. So we just have to make sure we leave some space in between the leaf spring and the mud flap. So I mean, overall, I think it's going to look very good. Get a good look here from the back as well as the side. So I think it's going to turn out very good. Let's do a quick comparison of the front. So I mean, I think they are the exact same mud flaps. The only difference is that the ones that I got the Jeep with have like the Jeep name like written on the bottom of the flap here, if you can see that on camera, and these new ones do not have anything written. So that's the only difference that I've noticed. Other than that, they're literally the exact same mud flaps. They both say made in Canada. They both have this tab here on the side. Same thing here, made in Canada, and this one also has this tab on the side. So I mean, just from what I've been looking at right now, they do look like they're the exact same mud flaps, so I am pretty confident that they're going to fit on. So I definitely do like mud flaps. I know some people don't like the look of mud flaps, but you know, I think it just kind of completes the whole look of the XJ, just makes it look complete, and you know, obviously it helps it to keep the mud off the body and those end caps as well. If you turn the bag around here, it does have instructions on how to actually install these, and comes with all the hardware, all the screws that you need here. So let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. So 4 screws for each mud flap. So we'll just have 4 going along here. So we're just gonna have to drill through the mud flap and then drill through these brand new bumper end caps here as well. And then I believe, I don't know if there's anything underneath this end cap, but there should already be holes there from the previous mud flap that I had there. So shouldn't be any issues. So definitely looking forward to getting these installed. So once again, like I said, guys, I really wasn't aware that these mud flaps were such a rare thing for XJs. But you know, like I said, I've been getting a whole bunch of comments on my XJ videos, people asking me where I got my mud flaps, and I always thought they were just the factory ones that came stock with my XJ, because I bought them with those mud flaps already installed, and they look like they were factory installed on there. So the Jeep was basically completely stock when I got it. So I guess the mud flaps were the only thing not stock about the Jeep. So really glad that I could find another set just like the ones that I had. And you know, people definitely seem to like those if I was getting so many questions about where I got them. So once again, if you guys are interested in these mud flaps, part number is 8220-3706 AB. And like I said, you might have to do some searching on different Mopar websites to actually find them, because everywhere I looked was pretty much all out of stock of these mud flaps. You might be able to find some on eBay, but you know, I had to search around a lot. And like I said, they were pretty much out of stock on the website that I bought them from. They only had one left, and it seems like I bought the last one. So to get the mud flaps installed and also to get the Jeep undercoated and wire wheeled, we're gonna take it to the same shop that actually replaced my rear bumper, and they also replaced a bunch of my cooling parts a few years ago as well, if you guys remember that. So definitely a very trusted shop. They are all Jeep enthusiasts, so excited to take the Jeep back to the shop, and make sure you guys stay tuned so you don't miss that. Yeah guys, like I was saying, now that we have the 392, we can do some more off-roading and modifications with that thing, and keep the XJ just for the preservation and restoration projects here as well, like we've been doing for the past, I guess, 3 years now. It's already been 3 years since I've purchased this Jeep Cherokee XJ. Seems like time has really flown by, but you can see a lot of work has gone into this thing, and you know, we're definitely not done with this thing. It's a never-ending project with these XJs, as you guys know if you are XJ owners. So you know, I want to give you guys a quick walk around here of the Jeep, talk to you guys about the future plans, and I'm definitely very happy about how these end caps turned out as well. You know, nice and sturdy. And before, they were kind of flopping around because the rear lower quarter panel was super rusty. Luckily we got that thing replaced as well, so now it's nice and sturdy. Next up for the XJ is going to be obviously get the mud flaps installed. And then, as you guys know, if you've watched my previous XJ videos, I'm also going to get this thing completely descaled again and completely undercoated again. So I actually got it undercoated and descaled a couple years ago. That was also when we got all those rust repairs fixed. So we got the whole rocker panels replaced, as well as the rear lower quarter panels. A couple years after that, some of the rust is starting to come back, and I want to get the whole underside like wire wheeled, and we're going to get it undercoated with this black undercoating that's more of like a paint type finish. So it's going to look very uniform, a lot better than how it looks right now, and it's just going to match the Jeep a whole lot better as well. So let me give you guys a quick look underneath. Previously we had the Jeep undercoated with fluid film, and you know, it held up pretty good. But I really just think that, you know, having the black undercoating will just make it look a whole lot more consistent, a whole lot better, and just, you know, restore it and preserve it a whole lot better, which is my whole goal with this Jeep Cherokee XJ. The fluid film has been holding up pretty well. I don't really do too much mudding with this thing, so I'm not too worried. But if you do have a little bit of rust, then it will always be able to reform again. But of course, with fluid film, it is important that you reapply it annually, because it is more of an oil or wax based product, as opposed to like a paint undercoating that you don't really have to apply unless it gets like chipped off by a rock or something. Then you'd have to do one and reapply it at that point. So I just think having a black undercoating that's painted on will just make it look a whole lot better. After that, I've also been thinking about getting an upgraded steering setup, so kind of just like a heavy duty tie rod and drag link. And I have been searching around. I found a kit from Rusty's Off-Road, which is the same company that I got the lift kit from. So I've been thinking about that one. If you guys have any experience with that, definitely drop it down in the comments. Or if you have any other suggestions for a upgraded steering setup, definitely let me know as well. I'm also thinking about doing an upgraded, like a steering box, to kind of minimize that play that I have in the steering wheel that you guys know that I've talked about in previous videos. But yeah, I mean, overall, the Jeep is basically exactly how I want it, outside of the mud flaps and the undercoating. So that's basically all we have left. Now, as you guys know, like I said, it's a never-ending project, so I'm sure I'll find something else after we get all that done. For that, we just have to keep maintaining it and upgrading all those little parts, like the steering setup and anything else that I, you know, want to do, anything else that I come up with. But yeah, I mean, quick look around at my Jeep Cherokee XJ here. Definitely very happy with how it's been coming out over the past 3 years. And yeah, hopefully some of you guys found this video helpful, giving you guys an actual part number for the mud flaps that I had, because I haven't been able to give that to you guys, because I always thought that my mud flaps were the stock ones that came with the XJ. And as you guys know, I'm also planning a whole bunch of trips with my 392 Wrangler. I definitely want to take that thing and do some more off-roading content with it, take it on some more trails around here, and take it on some more road trips as well. Gonna be a whole bunch of fun. I want to install a winch on my 392, as well as maybe a light bar and maybe bigger tires sometime down the road. But yeah, I want to actually have fun with that thing and take it off-road and just make a whole bunch of fun videos for you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any 392 or XJ videos, and thanks for watching.